You'll hear me say it again and again, but data is the lifeblood of modern businesses. It is used to inform decision-making, improve customer experiences, and drive growth. And companies are realizing there is a universal truth that data collected is only valuable if it meets the quality, reliability, and compliance needs of today's kind of crazy customer data environment. And this is only going to become more and more important over time as key trends like AI, ever-changing regulations, and others converge at once to either propel or expose organizations' data and their maturity level. So hi, I'm Michelle Nieberding, the Director of Product Marketing here at MetaRouter, and I am taking you all along with me in my onboarding journey. And this week's hot take maybe is a little bit different. We're looking into how investing in a CDI, so your customer data infrastructure up front, can significantly impact your return on investment across various tech investments by ensuring that that data collected is meeting and overcoming the challenging needs of today's customer data requirements. So let's jump right into it and what that means. I think it's probably important that we level set a little bit and talk about the reality of your customer data ecosystem today. And I'm curious, ask yourself, do any of you sound familiar? We at MetaRouter hear this every single day. First of all, data collection, it's complex. I tend to relate it to like a labyrinth of complexity and redundancies that really creates a landscape where the safety and accuracy of your data is constantly at stake, and no one wants to be in that kind of stressful chaos all the time. We don't need that kind of negativity in our lives. We have enough to worry about. The other thing we hear all the time is poorly formatted data. The amount of times I hear my engineering friends tell me about the time spent of cleaning up poorly formatted data, they must have the patience of a saint. Dealing with this incomplete or badly structured data sources really necessitates costly internal transformation. That, again, takes a lot of time and effort, which really amplifies the challenges of managing the data you collect. And then what else we hear is that the data, once it's collected, is lacking key components. So even after putting all the effort into collecting the data, spending time diligently cleaning it up, there is a persistent issue that often emerges in the form of crucial missing elements like addressable identity. So that means you can't even target the people that you're collecting data from. And this deficiency prevents businesses from fully realizing their potential and the reach and achieving the desired business results in their marketing or business endeavors. So we don't want this, right? But it's tough. Customer data is tough right now. And so to overcome a lot of these challenges, I want you to think about what kind of technology have you invested in, right? Based on these challenges, have you made, investments in certain areas, and how is that working, right? Are you able to overcome the challenges that you hoped that you would with these investments? I will say more often than not, our customers come to us because they thought they were going to be able to solve a problem in their customer data strategy with some new technology, but there's still lingering issues that are persisting, making those investments less powerful than they could be, and ultimately leaving revenue on the table. So let's look at some real-life examples of what we're hearing. So first, and probably one of the hottest topics right now, is AI, right? And so many people are investing in it. Last week in the hot take, we talked about the importance of data quality, and more we're hearing about that importance of data quality in the context of AI and machine learning. So to improve data quality, you might invest in a data lake or a data warehouse. However, we hear that a substantial amount of time, again, is spent cleansing that data coming from various sources, different data sources, feeding different sources into your system. They all have different complex schemas. And we do all of that transition, all that transformation in flight. So when that data lands, it's ready to go. So what you thought might have been your solution to really enhancing your AI machine learning efforts through better data accuracy is actually not the true way to overcome that challenge, right? So number one, AI machine learning. Second example, and I think this is like the core to business success. We all want to offer real-time experience delivery that is deeply personalized and properly segmented. So to do this, you might invest in a CDP, which 100% is the right move, right, for that specific use case. However, what you might not realize is that even with this investment, which again, it's crucial to activation and personalization of your data, you're still missing like half of your target audience because of a lack of addressability. And so we typically find on average that most customers are missing the ability to address about 65% of the people that are engaging with their site because they're anonymous. That is a big portion of your audience that you should be able to target. I mean, they're your, people interacting with your brand. So that's what to think about when you're looking to build real-time personalized experiences with maximum impact of your entire audience, right? CDI will accelerate the ROI of your CDP. Next, let's talk about ad spend, return on ad spend, and holy cow, the cost of acquisition has gone way up, right? So we're all looking for ways to improve this. It's kind of crazy out there to think about how much this has changed, and to kind of help with the tracking, with the optimization of it, you might invest in a DMP, in MarTech, and ad tech, right? But the problem here is that a lot of those tools are still reliant on third-party cookies, which, number one, those are going away, and two, the current reliance on third-party cookies means that it's eating away at the marketing performance tracking. So at a time when you need every proof point possible to determine where your most effective marketing investments actually lie, you actually need a CDI to unveil conversion and other behavioral data signals in these tough tracking environments to give you better insight into what is actually performing so that you're investing in the right areas for the most impact. And finally, yes, the hot topic of security. This one it's really a team sport, and it takes the right strategy and approach to get it right. And also can be probably one of the most costly investments if you get it wrong. So to help with enhanced data security, you might invest in a consent management system, but those tend to be disparate and not integrated, right? So what that does when you're using a consent management system, yes, you're getting those preferences right, but what happens with your data is it's still not being governed properly, right? We see like downstream, people are trying to govern their customer data at the end locations in various different places in various different ways, in some cases relying on third parties again to do that, but you're still putting yourself at risk by doing that, right? So when you're moving to a CDI, a centralized customer data structure, you're actually bringing that all forward so that when the data is collected, it's governed from that moment of collection, meaning that everywhere else that data goes, you're preventing risks before they happen. So it's really a proactive versus a reactive approach, right? So these are 4 real-life examples we hear every day, and all of these, the ROI is fully more maximized by having a CDI. So what's kind of the TLDR here, Michelle? What are you trying to say, right? So really it comes down to the fact that a successful customer data strategy starts at the point of collection, right? As soon as you capture that data, you need to make sure it's reliable, it's clean, it's accurate, right? For everything else you're doing to maximize the ROI and impact of everywhere that customer data goes. So you saw this chart last week. I won't go into it too much, but I did want to put a kind of real life personal spin on it, right? The importance of clean water up front. You don't want to wait until you're literally brushing your teeth, you're giving your dog some water, you're watering your plants to then try and clean the water, right? You want to make sure it's clean up front so that everything you do with that within your house, for your family, for your animals, for your plants, is clean and good to go, and making sure that their health, their wellness is maximized and optimized because of that clean water. So bringing it home just a little bit, making it a little more personal. And so how does MetaRouter fit in as that centralized customer data source, right? So we are that single reliable source of truth for all of your customer data, the really centralized part of your entire data strategy to do all of this at the point of collection. So with the data inconsistencies and vendor discrepancies that can distort your, marketing chorus, we actually harmonize that data. We consolidate it into a single stream and provide a transparent view of your customer data usage, right? So by deconstructing these integrations with third-party vendors, we're putting you back in control. You're better equipped to understand how those vendors are actually utilizing your customer data, why certain discrepancies exist between vendors, and then ultimately we help you make more confident decisions on how your investments are made, and then improving ROI across all downstream technology for any tech, again, that your customer data touches. And that's huge. So what does this mean? We actually conducted a couple really intense interviews with key people in the industry. So for Michael Borelli, the director and co-founder of AI and Partners, he agrees this single pipeline and infrastructure is what is going to really change the game, not only for customer data collection and tracking, but also to flag non-compliant data faster, right? And be, again, that proactive versus reactive approach. This is not only essential to scale, but it's essential to your long-term customer data strategy and especially what next year looks like. So here is your screenshot moment, right? How do we do this and what are the results looking like? So if you're investing in any of these things, and think about, again, the new tech you may have invested in, your DMP, your CDP, all these crazy acronyms, right? But with a certain goal. Now, what if you could invest in one technology that amplified the ROI of all of those systems, so you're making sure you're getting the most out of all those investments that you're making? And what are the results people are seeing, right? Like, what does this really mean for your organization? We could probably spend an hour just here, but this is another good glance at what you can look to expect. We've talked about better addressability. We've talked about better SEO, better conversions, higher traffic. And this all is at the core of what a CDI does, in addition to powering your ROI downstream. So now it's a lot of information, right? And where to even get started when you're thinking about what a CDI does and how it can be powerful. So we typically see our customers start in one or maybe all three of these areas. If you want to increase your site performance, if you want to improve your addressability, and if you want to capture more data in like a crazy tracking environment, let's talk. Let's have a discussion and see how we can set you up for success. So a quick recap, our journey so far. Removing third-party tags off your website increases site performance. We're giving you complete control over your data to track it anyway and deliver it in any way that you want, even within crazy complex schemas. We talked about the importance of activating all of your users, anonymous and known, and being able to reach them with all of your marketing campaigns. And of course, at the core of all this is ensuring better data quality to ultimately bring better ROI downstream to all of your tech investments. So let's do it. Let's talk about what you have in place, where we can help, and where we can fill in some of those gaps that maybe you're still having challenges that you would hope to overcome, but haven't been able to, or not quite sure how to address those. We can start with a free site analysis to see how your site's performing, or dive into any of the core challenges you're facing and how we can overcome them. So let's talk. Let us know how we can help. And otherwise, I will see you at next week's Hot Take.